John McCain's back in the news a little bit because of Gina Haspel. He has come out against her confirmation to be the head of the CIA based on torture. And John McCain, that said, back even when there was debate on the Senate floor, and I guess this must have been, 10 years ago now, John McCain prevented it from the CIA, if I remember correctly, being obliged to go by the military handbook when it comes to torture. But nevertheless, in his waning days, because he is ill, although I guess Lindsey Graham has said that he thinks that John McCain is going to beat the brain cancer. It's very rare. In his waning days, he came out and sent out a fairly important statement that may, hopefully, provide cover for people to vote against her in maybe the Republican Party. But I think Joe Manchin has announced that he was supporting her. So we'll see. It's going to be close. But the knives are out for John McCain, folks. And at Fox News, they do not accept that. They have no countenance for that kind of insubordination. Here is, who are these guys? It's Charles Payne, who himself is a lunatic, and Thomas McInerney. I can't remember. This guy used to be around all the time during the war, the Iraq War, if I remember correctly. But here they are.
Well, she can't use it anymore because we've determined, the Congress, that it's not legal. The fact is,
pause it. I should just say, he's referring to Gina Haspel not being able to use torture anymore.
This is John McCain. It worked on John. That's why they call him Songbird John. The fact is those methods can work, and they're effective as...
Wait, go back a little bit. Let's get the wind up to this.
Wow.
Now, I don't ever recall, and when Cliff comes on, who literally wrote the book on John McCain. If you ever heard John McCain referred to as Songbird John.
Obama called him that. He said, Songbird John's whole agenda, it's top down, not middle out. Songbird John couldn't even keep his mouth shut in Vietnam. He's always going to fail the middle class.
It sounds like a children's poem, doesn't it? All right, but go ahead.
Well, she can't use it anymore because we've determined, the Congress, that it's not legal. The fact is John McCain, it worked on John. That's why they call him Songbird John. The fact is those methods can work, and they're
Pause
effective.
It. Now, I wonder if that little stutter that he has afterwards is the producer going in his ear like, you got to take that back. You got to take that back. Don't say that.
I was wondering if maybe it was him thinking like, am I actually getting away with this without him stepping in and saying it?
Or him physically readjusting himself because his balls take up all of his seating area. We were just talking about how we're going to be disrespectful after John McCain passes away. I've never contemplated in my life.
But
that's why he failed when he was getting his nails pulled out in North Vietnam for 5 years. What a loser.
Trump totally got away with it, though.
That's true.
Trump got away with it, but this is actually an escalation of Trump. Trump didn't say
Trump didn't want him to get captured. This guy's saying that he collapsed under
could
torture.
even withstand torture. What a loser.
I like people who weren't tortured.
Who don't crack under that type of torture.
But
I wonder if he's like, he had a moment where he's like, oh, geez, did I just say that on TV? Good.
The Congress, that it's not legal. The fact is John McCain, it worked on John. That's why they call him Songbird John. The fact is those methods can work, and they're effective, as former Vice President Cheney said. And if we have to use them to save 1 million American lives, we will do whatever we have to.
Sir, thank you very, very much. Really
appreciate your ability to say that. Look, here's the bottom line. There's never been the ticking time bomb scenario they're talking about. But if it is a question of 1 million people losing their lives, then the president could order this and break the law and then and then deal with the consequences. I mean, if that scenario is so dire and it is so rare, then the president can break the law and then deal with the consequences and see if he can just, or she can say to the rest of the country, I broke the law and I did so for these reasons and justify it. But the idea that we would put it into A, that we would put it into a legal framework, or B, that we would reward, not just not punish. This is not just a question of impunity. This is not just a question of lack of accountability, but reward someone who did this, who had this close proximity, if not direct involvement in the torture program, is just reprehensible.
That's why we call him Songbird Mohammed.
It also
Couldn't withstand it.
It doesn't make any sense, right? Because he's mocking him for cracking under torture, and then he's saying torture works and is effective.
Right.
So, like,
let's do it.
Maybe it's not so easy to withstand torture.
Well, I'm not sure what the point is, but we don't know that that John McCain gave up anything, anyways. And experts will say,
sure we do. Total
that
pussy.
Torture has been used by regimes to get fake admissions, to get statements, false statements, and that you can get anyone to say anything.
It's always important, though, to note. I did, yesterday that torture is not effective, but that's always the second order argument. Like, it's just unacceptable, regardless of information gleaned.
Yes, and it also happens to be illegal under about a half a dozen statutes, as well as the Geneva Conventions in this
Songbird
country.
Sam.
There you go.
Don't torture me. I'll give you the info already. What do you want to know about Air America?
This one seems very friendly to me. I'll tell you everything you want to know.
We were having a cigarette and a coffee, and then the other one tortured me.